So I was thinking some more about the Islander. If there's any developers that are interested in any of the projects and would like to know more information, I can go into more information about each project and the way things would function and stuff like that if it's needed. So there'd be these multiplayer injection sites on the island. So whenever a person joins, they would just get placed somewhere. Players can kill each other. So you find a pocket knife, or you have a pocket knife on you, cut a stick, now you have a spear, cut 2 sticks, make 2 spears. It's kind of like a dual katana wield, or maybe you can even find katanas. You put the knife in your pocket. Then you could use that spear to kill another player. But the creatures will always try to kill humans. You find a barbecue grill, fish, you could go raid the grocery store, eat weeds, plants, cook worms. Some of the creatures appear human. Always carry 2 weapons in case one gets knocked out of your hand, dual wielding. You'd want to use push to talk, but you could have an open mic. So then maybe that works in a range, so everybody would have to come huddle next to you with open mic, and you'd be talking, they'd all be listening. You could possibly have a sling, a gun, because it's a first person. That's the stick that allows you to throw a javelin farther. Bow and arrow. You know, whatever you could find on the island. I was thinking about different ways to control your character in-game so that you could fight other people. And I think that Xbox Kinect uses infrared and tracking. So if you had a green screen and 2 white PVCs, you could possibly dual wield katanas and fight another person in game. Or spears, or whatever they were. Another way you might be able to do it is if you had gloves that had a whole bunch of little sensors all over them, and those sensors represented the hands in the 3D environment. It's 3D goggles. You could view it with no glasses 3D. And you could wear the gloves while playing the game with a controller, because the controller might be better for the first-person shooter aspect if you're using a gun. But if you wanted to have a friendly duel, you could put down the controller and have an all-gloves battle, or even something like that. That just seems like a lot of money and a lot of setup for everybody to own that, where this method seems like more people could play the game. And you could have all the methods included, to where if certain people wanted to battle this way, or certain people just wanted to fight that way. So possibly the movement between the 2 people could be controlled by a computer. So then you would just control the hands or the gloves. Because it wouldn't make sense to have to hold the controller and use the glove, because then the controller would have to be in one hand while the sword was in the other, unless you used the controller as a weapon, which if the other person had 2 swords, you'd probably be at a disadvantage. Or if they had a pistol. So if you're killed in a duel, you'd just be respawned. and you wouldn't lose any of your equipment. So the more people you have together, the more creatures come at you whenever it's time for the creatures to activate, and depending on your area. So like in this case, 4 people have huddled themselves inside of glass wall funnel type system where they kill the incoming ones because they're completely surrounded them trying to get to them. Each time they kill a creature, it creates a light, and it piles up and makes a light wall, and then all the creatures disappear. So then they can pass through. So you might want to find some camo gear, a sniper rifle, have gathering food time routine, and get a buddy and hide up in some trees. Or maybe even a snorkeler and hide underwater in certain areas or instances. In order to win, the game would need to end with one male, that male has long hair, and one female, so they could reproduce. Because eventually you find out that it's like a disease, not really sure what to call it, but it's spreading, and the creatures, they seem to have a short half-life. Seems the best thing to do would be to create a safe zone community where we understand that we can kill each other, but there are more important things to do.